Well, that's why before, when I was on here with you, we talked about MK Ultra mind control, and I said, I may not have said it on your show, but in a subsequent speech I did say, what MK Ultra mind control does is train people never to blame the guilty. Instead, to point the finger downward at the helpless and never upward at the guilty. But, you know, and people in America are just under that kind of mind control, and it originates from Congress and from our government. You know, they don't want to get caught as they're pocketing all the people's dough. And this is just more of it. I mean, these people, what gets me about the rule by psychopaths is that they're not ever satisfied. I mean, that they humiliate the people, take away their rights, take away, like the heroes that we sent to Iraq, come home and their moms have lost their homes. It's just a gluttonous orgy of greed, death, evil, sickening, you know, the vampire blood-sucking of our country and its public. I have 5 grandsons, and how am I going to tell them, hey, kids, you know, crime pays? I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And so I would like to see the guilty punished. And when we have a clear record of who the guilty are, and we don't ever hold them accountable, no wonder we have kids going nuts in schools. I mean, seriously, we need some moral structure. And I'm tired of people saying it's all men or it's all women. Royalty invented a feudal system, and everybody is on, you know, everybody under their class is a breeder that, you know, gives birth to the soldiers and, you know, that do their work for them. So, you know, they needed to have a clear binary, you know, women and men, so they can push that wedding complex. But, you know, they got to keep breeders going, because where are they going to get these kids to send off to their wars and molest and stuff? You know, they have to create that. So they created these clear gender things for their slaves and their serfs. And, you know, they get a wedding, and, you know, then they're happy. They're a princess for a day. Then they go back to the fields, you know. It's mind control. It's feudal, land baron, capitalism, mind control. It's completely obsolete when you look at it, how ridiculously corrupt it is, because it's so psychotic. And even to fight with it has given it energy. I think now it's like eating its own tail. I mean, the whole Saudi Arabia, all royal family, 911, Bush, all of it, it's eating its own tail. But it's all a scam, a tired effing scam. Of course, after everything's decimated and there's no, you know, there's no tribal rights to any land left at all for people. And everybody's like, truther, truther, you're a truther. Already we have to be like really honest too, and really truthful about what does it mean when it's House of Saud works with House of Windsor, works with the Vatican, works with Rothschild. It's all one big friggin' mafia scam. I mean, I'll probably get assassinated or droned when I'm out of here. But people better show up. People better show up, start reading, stop being bought off. If you only have an hour a day, read something intelligent. Read several sources. You know, educate yourself. Find out what's going on. Don't stay asleep or go deeper into the mind control, because it will get worse for you. And a few people who know that at the top are taking advantage of it and, you know, getting a big sadistic thrill out of tricking people. They all lead to one thing, this death. I don't think they know what they're doing. I think they follow orders only. I think they have little intelligence, and, you know, they have handlers. And, you know, the big money that owns our government, you know, the real owners of this country. And, you know, they tell their servants and whores what they want and how to provide it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that is the reality. That's the real big reality. Well, that involves trafficking and mind control and drug addiction and being molested when you're... I don't think you have time for that one. A committed activist and committed fighter. First of all, it's really difficult to see things that are kept invisible. It's really hard for artists to find their voice in the medium of television, period. ungodly ignorant, and it's ungodly ignorant that they have no idea that they're ignorant too. So it's like levels of, just levels of brainwashing and mind control. The media is responsible for perpetuating a rape culture, and you know, I mean, it's profitable for the people at the top who run the rape culture, you know, who run it, and you know, they profit from it, and to say otherwise would be a big fat lie. But so, you know, they don't want any kind of power shifted away from the way they have it set up. They're in a very hierarchical manner at the bottom, largely slave labor, at the bottom of that big pyramid. This is a culture of fear, and nobody's more afraid than people in Hollywood. They're afraid that they'll drop out of the top of the pyramid, maybe to the middle of the pyramid. But you know, they're the ones. Hollywood is the one that keeps all this power structure and all this culture of racism and sexism and classism and genderism and all of it in place. They continually feed it, and they make a lot of money doing it, and they do it at the behest of their masters who run everything. So, you know, they're not going to get brave enough to do that. I mean, I think that there aren't many of us who are brave enough to do that. And I'm just, you know, I'm lucky that I can do it, and I feel that I do it on behalf of many people in Hollywood too. I go to Hollywood parties, and it blows my mind, but that's the culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. You know, and it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
Well, we've talked about Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra mind control.
They don't like America, and they don't like you know, what we're all proud of about our country. They want to beat down our right to speak out, our right to dissent, our right to be a whistleblower, to do the right thing. They don't like any of those things, but they won't be able to stop it. So, you know, a word of encouragement from me and from you and from people who think like us is very, very important, and it's very important that it happens over the people's airwaves. There's so much that can be done, and don't stop now, because we've put a crack in it, and now the light will get in. So don't stop now, whatever you do. Don't stop. And you know, they talk about Occupy Wall Street and this and that and the other, but it needs a reboot, like everything having to do with resisting a country being owned by banksters and both parties of its government being owned by banksters. There's no way we can turn our back or quiet down now. It'll only get worse. And so now's the time to amp it up. All these vehicles and venues of resistance, it's time to come together. And I have, my theory is that it's sex that really beat all those things down. I think that we're going to find that any method of resistance, any organ of resistance is going to fail unless it is everywhere on earth. And, you know, it's going to come to America, too, and it is coming. And so I just give everybody a heads up to take a look at that and see if I'm not right.